Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things embodiment, entrepreneurship, and living your best, most delicious dream life. Today we are covering how to film a YouTube video from start to finish with your phone. So there's a bunch of steps to this, and the biggest thing I will say is that it does get easier over time, so don't expect yourself to just have it all together from the get-go, because I've been doing this for over 6 months now. I'm learning every single day and it's still just very much baby steps. So you will get there. Just do as many videos as you can and just get to know. There's so many things that go into it. But for today, we'll focus on the basics. So step 1, you need to be clear on why it is that you want to record videos. Do you want to develop a channel? Do you want to have an audience? Do you want to feed that back into your socials? Do you want to start a brand? Like, what is it that you want from this? And if you're wanting to make it your full-time job, you have to know that you need to just get the groundwork done, just grind it out for a year or two before you can really expect to be making money from it, before you can get sponsorships, all of that stuff. So yes, you can do it a lot quicker. There's so many things that go into it. Do you have a big social media following already? Do you already create videos on maybe TikTok or Instagram that'll feed over very easily? Maybe you will just hit the algorithm really quickly and your stuff will be out there and it'll just work. But for most people, it takes a couple of good years, and that's really important because you need your audience to get to know you for who you are, and you need to get to know yourself. You need to get to know why you're here, what you want to create from this, what you want to accomplish from this. And those couple of years is actually really important to not only lay the groundwork so that you don't hit the fame and then drop off straight away because you don't have anything solid in place, but it's also so you can get to know yourself and get to know why you're here. And that in the long run is just everything that allows you to connect to your audience authentically, which means they stay, which means they share it, which means it actually impacts their life in a positive way. So yeah, step 1, get to know why you're here. Step 2, what tools and techniques do you already have that you can use for this creation process? It's good to know what you already have so that you can get clear on what you need to learn, start making content and really get it out there as quickly as possible. Because the longer you just sit and wait and say maybe one day I'll do it, it'll just never happen. So just get it done, get those first few steps in and start making videos. Step 3, what device do you want to record on? I use my iPhone. It's not like a new one, but it's pretty decent. I literally use it for every single thing except for adding in tags, I think, right at the very end. So after I've filmed it, edited it, uploaded it, written the description, I will use it to add tags right at the very end because I just can't seem to figure it out on my phone. So just download the YouTube app and download YouTube Studio. Make sure you also have an app that will allow you to record. Make sure it's set to an appropriate resolution. You can check that in the settings. And make sure you also have an app that allows you to edit it. If you want to do it on your phone, I recommend InShot. It's what I've used for all of my videos and you can do so much with it. I'll actually be recording the exact process on how I do it later on, so just stay tuned for that. I'll also add some timestamps in down below so that you can jump to exactly what you need to. I can't remember if it's free or if it's paid, but if it's paid, it's not very expensive, especially considering how much you can do with it. You can edit absolutely everything. You can change the speed, you can add in other videos, like a video in a video, which I'll be doing later, add in music as well, just everything you really need for the process, you can do in the one application. So make sure you download that. And once you're all set to go, you can start getting clear on what you want your first few videos to be. Step 4, what do you want to record first? What is going to be the foundation for your channel? What is your theme? What is your brand? What are people going to come to you for? Now, obviously you can't control how people come to you, what they're interested in, what the reason is for them coming to you is a really good idea if you want to be successful on this platform. If you want to be successful on any platform, is to get clear on your niche or your multiple niches. So whether that is fashion or music or DIYs, get clear on what it is that people will come to you for and what you want them to come to you for. Because you can have a couple of videos that go absolutely viral and that's amazing, but if it's not actually aligned with who you are and what kind of content you want to create, you will get burnt out very, very quickly. You will see no success in your other videos, which are the ones you want to create. So you may as well just make sure that that is aligned from the get-go. All right, step 5. Get your physical surroundings sorted. So I have a little Yeti microphone that is just here off camera. I just have that plugged straight into my phone. I have 2 ring lights, which are amazing. They are just my everything. I also have like a little study area. So I have an enclosed space. I have my heater on, I have my comfy chair. I have something over the window so that the light doesn't come in and kind of change everything. Other than that, it's just about what you want to wear, what's comfortable for you. You don't have to wear or be or look a certain way. Obviously make sure it's appropriate because it's YouTube. It's you. This is also a part of your brand. So what do you want to wear? If you're really about makeup, do you want to really focus on that more? Then maybe have it a lot more close up. I'm just kind of general sitting and talking to you and I make this up half as I go. So I feel like this resonates with that theme, but whatever it is for you, do that. Step 6. Do you want to plan your videos? I plan them and I also don't. So I generally just have like a bunch of notes that I make throughout the week. I have a few videos on my notes at a time and I usually write them on my phone, then transfer them to my laptop because it's just the same application on both. That's super, super easy. Whatever I type into my phone comes straight off my laptop and vice versa. So I can make notes on either. I can be recording while I have my laptop up, which is my notes. And I kind of go through them as I go through the video, but I also go off track a lot and just go on tangents and I just blurt out whatever my soul wants to share. So we're kind of going through a list, but do what works for you. Do you want to have a full script written out? Maybe for your first video or two, you want to completely write everything out and that's going to work for you. Or maybe you just want to have bullet points, or maybe you just want to press record and just see what your soul wants to share. As I said before, this is going to be constantly changing as you change, as your story changes, as your surroundings change. Whatever's happening in your life will change what you're recording and what you're talking about, what you're choosing to share. So do what works for you. I love having notes. It's just kind of always been a part of me. So I have notes set up, but as I said, I also go on tangents. So yeah, before or after you film your video, you also want to take a headshot, maybe take a few headshots. I sometimes just take photos with my phone as is, or I start a video and I do like a bunch of different poses for like a couple of seconds each. And then I can just take a screenshot from there and make that a headshot through the same editing process. So for this one, I took a video and just did a few different poses, and then I'll be able to go through later, take a screenshot of that, trim it down, put it into the InShot app in just the photos section. It's up to you how you want to take your photos and what you want your theme to be. I've generally done mine the same way throughout my YouTube journey. Pretty much the same way I've edited the videos, and just text down the bottom in the same font every time. Okay, the filming process. Make sure you are in a secure space. I have my door closed. My partner knows when I'm filming, so he's not going to play any crazy loud music. My window closed, I have my blinds down so that the light is pretty stable. I have my 2 ring lights. Everything's kind of set up so that I can just sit down and do this and not have to move and shuffle things around, because that makes it a little bit difficult in the editing stage. It's nice to, especially in this app, once you get it into the app, you can just change all of the lighting settings around and it just does the whole video. Or you can do one short section and then you can also make sure that that adds it to the other sections you have. So that's also really useful, but it's just better if you have it set up straight away. It just makes whatever you're talking about the focus. Once you have your space set up, just do it. Just press record, just see what happens. My first couple of videos, I talked for like an hour and got like 10 to 20 minutes of actual good content on there. I also noticed that I say and a lot, and I pause and just like have complete mind blank sometimes. I just record the whole thing and I edit it later. It's just a lot easier. But yeah, just jump in, just do it, just recall whatever it is that you are wanting to say. And then afterwards you can go through. It doesn't matter if you think that you're repeating yourself. Again, if you have notes, just look over them a little bit and reference them when you need to. And don't worry about an order because you can also rearrange that later. Just get it done, and then in the editing process you can get nitpicky about it. Okay, now that the filming process is done, you need to get into the editing stage. So this for me takes quite a long time. Sometimes it takes me hours to edit a video. Sometimes that kind of goes over 2 or 3 days because it's just really long and a grueling process. And sometimes I'm done in 20 minutes. I talked quite precisely and it just makes sense and it just flowed. But as I said, it gets better over time. So just however it is now, deal with that and then work on improving that next time. Yes, you can get someone to edit your videos for you. I prefer to do it myself because I know my brand and I also learn from what I'm saying every time. I learn from how I see myself talk and all of that. So that is a big part of the learning process for me and a big part of how I'm going to improve. So I prefer to do it all myself, and that is also how you'll improve if you do it that way as well. All right, I'm going to jump into editing and I will show you that process now. Okay, so we open it up, add the video, press OK. Now straight away you can see there's a bunch of options, but I generally flip it and then just get the filtering done first. So up the contrast, up the vignette as well, so it's super nice. Then you can play around with highlights, shadows, all of the other stuff, just depending on what your brand is and what you prefer. Once that is done, you can get to the split and delete section. So I go through and I get rid of any bits and pieces that I don't want there, anything that's not super concise, anything that just doesn't really make sense or is like lots of pauses or ums or ahs, things like that. So I use the split and delete button. So I just split different sections. You can kind of glide it along as well to cut it. But I usually find it's easier to just get the sections to basically highlight them and then just delete the entire section. So I just go and do that, and then you can get to doing other things. So this is how I add a pip, like a video in a video. This time I chose to just add in a blank and then I added it as a pip. So you can see the button just above and I added it in there. This is also where you can change the speed, which is really helpful, especially when you're doing like tutorial videos or time-lapse things. There's obviously so many different ways you can edit your videos, so many different options you have. So just play around and see how you go. All right, that is pretty much it. I hope you all got something out of today, and make sure to like and subscribe while you're here. Share it with a friend if you think someone could benefit from it. And I'll leave a playlist down below of all of my business tools and techniques on my videos on like manifestation, on general entrepreneurship, all of that stuff. So make sure to check that out and I'll see you soon.